Welcome to the Social Sippers podcast. We are on episode what? 5, 6?
Six, I think.
Six?
Yeah,
I think
six.
it was all right,
Yep.
all right. We have Kim Ju here from Entropy Brewing in Miamisburg. Kim is part of a multi-generational brewing company. They have a speakeasy, they have a wonderful kitchen, and playgrounds for kids. So we're going to kind of dig into this. We're going to have some samples. We're going to taste some beer. Let's go.
Thank you so much for having us. I'm really excited to be here.
Yes, we're excited for
kind
you.
of share our story with you guys.
We are so excited.
Yeah, we love hearing the stories. So
It's a good story. I feel like it is a good story.
You said you guys were not brewery people.
Well, when I said that, I meant me.
Yeah, yeah.
It's always all about me, right?
Right.
I would say my husband is a brewery person, absolutely, and so is my son. I think my daughter-in-law is, she loves beer, and she doesn't, they all, the three of them would hang out at breweries and always go to places, and I would always be at work. So,
it was more of FOMO, or you were
Oh,
jealous,
right, yeah.
right? That's why you didn't like it.
I honestly, I grew to like beer just because of being married to the same man for 35 years now.
Oh, congratulations!
Yes, he has always loved beer and has never discriminated. Has always said he's never tasted a beer that he didn't like,
Sounds like
or
my
a
husband.
bad beer. He's like, all beer is good beer.
Yeah.
And I think
you're
my
like,
son was kind of along those same lines. I've kind of been more of a bourbon margarita kind of person, which is why I had to bring the marg with me.
Yes,
I like that.
We're
I
very
I feel
excited.
like the marg represents me well. So yeah, we my oldest son. I have 3 boys. My husband and I, like I said, we've been married for 35 years now. I have to think about that for a second.
When you get over the 30
math,
mark,
right.
it's kind of like,
Yeah, it's almost like when you age, you kind of stop counting, and literally, I kind of have to think for a second how old my kids are. So
And then figure it
Jordan
out
is
from there.
32, and then they've all just had birthdays. So now I have to think about this. So Jordan's my oldest. He's the brewer. He is 32, and then I have a 30-year-old firefighter paramedic in Columbus.
Oh.
And then I have a 28-year-old police officer for Miami Valley Hospital.
Wow.
Okay.
So we, I don't know how, but police officer, firefighter, and brewer.
Yeah, they all seem to go very well
all
together.
service oriented. That's what it is.
It really is.
Yeah.
Actually, it really is. And I'm a nurse practitioner.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
I'm a
So it's
pediatric
service,
nurse
yeah.
practitioner, and I've
So you
been-
guys like people.
We do. I like little people. I like little people.
Is that kind of where the playground concept came from for Entropy?
Honestly, no.
Okay.
I would like to take credit for that idea, but honestly, it came from my son and his wife. Their story. I like to share their story because it really is where the concept came from. My son, like I said, had a very nice brew system in his basement, and that was his, I don't want to call it a hobby because I felt like it's more of a passion of his. And he had this thought that he loves to brew beer and always wanted to brew beer and did start brewing beer. They had a child, and after her, my granddaughter is going to be 10 this summer, and in between my granddaughter and my grandson, they had a miscarriage. And this whole concept came from the miscarriage where they suddenly lost their baby. It was fairly early on, less than 3 months, but it was still very, it's tough. It's really tough. And unfortunately, I was working at Ohio State at the time, so I was out of town, at my job. And my husband was busy with his job, and her parents were busy as well. And they just, Jordan and Brianna just felt like they wanted to go out and be together and kind of mourn the loss of their child. And they couldn't find a place where they could go with their daughter.
Yeah.
And so they really felt like they wanted to have a place where they could go as a family, where their daughter would be safe and be able to play and, not have to just sit in her chair like 2 to 3 year olds don't like to sit in chairs.
Right. Yes.
They like to be up moving around.
She's got some energy, right?
And so the concept of this having a brewery where families could come, all sorts of ages and stages of life could come together and have something for everyone, so that no one kind of felt left out. And to be honest, when they first came up with this idea, I was like, wait, a playground in a brewery. and honestly, I was a late adopter.
You were the one saying no.
I was the pediatric nurse practitioner that I felt like I was worried about safety.
Right.
I have to promote safety. And I was a little worried about that. But the more I thought about it, my generation is very different than the generation that is raising children right now. They are very careful. They have gone through all of the safe driving programs and don't drink and drive and the SAD and the MAD and all the things that, they have been very well educated, and they are not the ones that were doing all the drunk driving. Honestly, it was my generation, and, which of course was why I was concerned, because I was like, I don't want a bunch of parents, getting drunk and driving.
Leaving with their children.
Right.
So once I really wrapped my brain around the fact that, this generation, they're the ones that get the designated drivers. They're the ones that are Ubering home. They're very aware and they're very careful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so once I kind of, got to the point where I was like, oh, they're really not like my generation was. And not to, diss on my generation, but, but it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of got excited about the idea. It took me a little bit of time. Like I said, I was a late adopter, and that was their dream. Their dream was to have this brewery, and they were looking in south of town because, my son had grown up south of town, and so had my daughter-in-law, and they were just kind of looking for a place that would make sense to them.
Mm-hmm. So were they thinking a large-scale place to start with? Or
I think they were actually thinking more small scale.
Okay,
Honestly,
I wondered.
Yeah. Because, I have this very, very intense belief that things happen for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And I feel like, life isn't just an accident. And I think that, there's a lot of things that happen that are purposeful and meaningful and were meant to happen. And it just so happened that my husband had bought a building. There was a request for proposals that were sent out from the city of Miamisburg. And I have to preface this with, my husband and I really love to hang out downtown in Miamisburg. Mm-hmm. They have so many great places to eat, so many great places to drink, so many great places just to walk around.
Right.
All the things. We loved Boo in the Berg every year. We were like big fans of Boo in the Berg, and so we dressed up. I mean, we dressed the bar. I mean, our friends and we always had the big group that went together that all dressed in the same, like Star Trek, Star Wars.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Okay.
We all had, there was a theme. So, we put a lot of thought and effort into this, and we did spend a lot of time in downtown Miamisburg. And when my husband found out that there was a request for the proposal for the building, which is the Silverman/Slutman building that the brewery resides in now, he put in his proposal, and his proposal was granted. Like, he won the proposal. And his proposal was to have 8 apartments, 4 on the second floor, 4 on the third floor. So I don't know if you're aware that there's apartments above. So when he purchased the building, he basically gutted the entire building.
Oh, that would be
started from scratch.
So how long did that take then? So from time that he put in the proposal, how long did that process? Was it
I want
months?
to say, no, more like years.
Oh.
Because he went through and got, and it's actually historical renovation.
Yep, that was going to be my question.
Mm-hmm. So that process was
With
a pretty long
grants
process.
and all of it, yeah.
And by the time we got approval for the historical renovation, which we were so excited about, and that was just a huge win for him. Mm-hmm. He had he's a very creative person and was very excited about, the whole building. It's a beautiful building. I remember when we walked through the building for the first time, I was like, I could see the potential. I was like, this is a really cool building. And the basement was really cool. And there was just so many neat things about the building. And when he was awarded the proposal, we were so excited. And then he got the grant for the historical renovation from the state of Ohio. That was huge. And then COVID happened. Yay. Yay, COVID, right?
Right.
So that kind of threw a little monkey wrench into the plan. And so I want to say we probably lost about a year.
Wow.
Oh, that's
probably
it?
about a year. So
Okay.
it wasn't hateful, but originally I remember going through the building when we were touring. Jordan and Bree were actually talking about breweries at that point. And I remember saying to my husband as we walked through the building one of the first times, I said, this would be the best spot for a brewery, for Jordan and Bree's brewery. This would be, it would be such a cool spot. And I remember saying in the same breath, it's too bad they're just not ready. And then COVID happened.
Right.
Do you see where
right,
I'm
right, right.
You totally see where I'm going
Yeah,
here.
little stopgap there.
Yeah. So I really felt like it was a meaningful thing, like a purposeful thing, like not that COVID happened just for the brewery, but
well, we can pretend.
It did make it. It made it
Today,
possible.
yeah.
So my husband focused on the apartments first, and we finished. I keep saying we. I did help. A lot of the staining was me, so I stained a lot of the woodwork, and I feel
there
like
you go.
I'm the janitor, so that too.
That's
so
huge.
I cleaned a lot, and
Yeah.
I helped pick a lot of the things out and put together a lot of the things. So,
Oh, goodness.
So I feel like it is a we on the weekends. So me and my dog came on the weekends, and we helped out my husband as much
Family
as I could.
effort, yeah.
Family
Right,
effort.
right.
Yeah, and really the whole building has been a family effort.
Oh, heck
from the get go. So he finished those apartments about 2.5 years ago, and everyone moved in that summer, and then the fall we started on the brewery. And by this time it was not just his original plan was to I forget what they call it. It's is it white? Where they just finish it for whoever comes in to rent.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
So
yeah.
he was just
He was just going to finish it, the way things, put in the bathrooms and things
Right.
to make it so that anyone could come in and do whatever they wanted with the space. And then, like I said, it was just the timing was right for Jordan and Bree's Brewery. And then all of a sudden, before we knew it, all four of us were talking about this is the place.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
This is going to be the brewery.
And so at that point, did you have any of the other concepts in mind? Because you've got a fantastic food menu. And then
thank you.
like the speakeasy portion.
So it was kind of, I would say the brewery and the playground was absolutely already a concept. Jordan and Bree were very, very, they really strongly wanted the playground there. They wanted it the multi-generational.
I think it's genius.
Family.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
it's
know. I
genius.
agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, it is amazing. It's amazing.
There's nothing like that in the Dayton area. I've seen some similar concepts in Cincinnati, but like in the suburbs.
Right.
But not like a for real playground. More of like, oh, you can go play cornhole, or there's some running space over here,
Or
or
here's
whatever.
a couple of games that you
Right,
can pull out
right.
and
How
bring
many
to the
rounds
table,
of
or-
Uno can you do while you're,
That doesn't last. It doesn't last
Exactly.
long.
Or
We've pushed it
Jenga,
as far
or-
as we
right.
can.
I would love to take credit for the creativity of the spaces, but honestly, I am not a creative person. My husband is very much of a creative person, and so is my son, and so is his wife.
It was them.
So really, it was the three of them that just kept brainstorming and coming up with ideas, and to continue on with my everything has a purpose, and things happen for a reason. One of my husband's very good friends had lost his job around COVID, and he was an interior space designer. So he had designed
perfect.
spaces for M&M's like down in Manhattan,
Oh,
like New York City.
okay.
Wow.
He had designed spaces for Bob Evans. And he just happened to be in town, and my husband toured the building. It was just the right time where we hadn't picked anything. And my husband's name's Eric, and his friend's name is Eric, so it gets confusing. So Eric and Eric were together, and they were talking, and so Jordan and Bree pulled all of us in, and Eric listened to the ideas, and then he came up with a lot of the space design.
So that's kind of where the eclectic feel comes from.
Yes.
It's literally from a Manhattan designer, a commercial
and
Manhattan
he
designer.
really
Wow.
knows that he was the one. Our original design was to have the play place in the back. Like in the very back where the kitchen is.
Oh.
And he was the one that's like, this is your, this is what defines you, and this is how you're special. Why are you hiding it in the back of the building?
Right. Yep.
And so we were all like, oh. And he's like, I could see, in the spring and the summer, you lifting up the garage door and letting the kids play. And I was like, that's genius, So he had a lot of the really cool designs. He would always present them to us, and we would kind of vote as a group what we liked. And those actually, I want to say those decisions came fairly easy to us. We did have very similar tastes, and really it was more, this is Jordan and Bree's baby. So, I think we pretty much ran with a lot of that.
Yeah.
And I think my husband was the one who really wanted the speakeasy because he loves bourbon too. So he was like, oh, we would really, and my husband and I are, obviously we don't have young children. and we like to have places that we can go to without children.
Right.
Honestly, being a pediatric nurse practitioner, I'm around kids all the time. So when every once in a while I would like to not be around children.
Right. Like,
so, and I feel like
here.
I'm not the only one that feels that way. So we like to have an adult space. And so my husband really, the basement kind of became his kind of baby. And his friend Eric was like, I have the best name for it. And we're like, what? Lower the bar. Get it? And I was like, oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah.
That was the one thing you didn't have to think about.
Right. So that was named really early on. And so he was just really, Eric was very inspirational in his, he just has the vision of pulling it all together.
Oh, yeah.
And he would always say, the brewery up top on the first floor for the families is the angel. It's light, it's airy, it's fun, it's more earth tony. And then the basement is the devil underneath. So he did, when he designed it, he was like, we should make it black, all black. And I was like, I don't know about that. But like, it turned out great. It's a great space. And
so
in fact,
is that
it's one of my
space open
favorites.
all the time, or it's just open certain times?
We don't ever close it down, but it's only manned with a bartender on the weekends in the evenings when we have live music down there.
So anyone can go down
Anyone
there,
can
venture
go down
around,
there, and they can bring their meals downstairs.
Oh,
and,
okay.
They can also rent it out or reserve it for parties and things like that.
But it's smaller, right?
It is smaller.
Okay.
Definitely, it seats more like 25 to 50
very
at the
cozy.
most. But like I think 25 is very comfortable. You could squeeze about 50 people in there if you wanted to. There's like a little place in the front that's got a little area. Like I've actually seen people dance there. Not a whole lot, but every once in a while someone gets. It's a nice little space.
Someone has some good bourbon and they
right,
start dancing,
and they're like,
right?
it's time to dance. I'm feeling good. It's Friday night.
Well, you have live music, which is
Yes.
also kind of a little bit hard to find in this area. So you consistently have live music on the lower level and on the main floor?
So it's piped up to the main floor from the lower level.
Oh, okay.
So we have a really nice speaker, a really nice sound system. So when they come and do the live music in the basement, we kind of felt like, well, we'd like everyone to enjoy the music.
Yeah.
And so since it really is, ageless, as far as the type of music that is played there, we thought it would be great to just pump it or pipe it through. So it's outdoors and indoors, and so the whole and each room has controls where they can turn up and down the volume based on the space.
Okay.
So it doesn't get too terribly loud in one particular space.
So in the lower bar, then it doesn't get super loud down there either. Like the acoustics are pretty good, or
we intentionally
it seems like it would blow you away.
We intentionally have smaller.
Oh,
groups.
okay.
So we really can't host a full band. Like we could not have a full set of drums down there. It would blow everyone away. We would all be like, oh my gosh, my ears, it's a little loud down here. So
hence the chaos in the name, right?
Yes.
So tell us where the name came from.
So the name came from Jordan, my son. It's funny, when he went to college, you have those questions. What am I going to do when I grow up? What am I going to what am I going to study? And he's like, Mom, the only thing I really ever liked was physics. I'm like, well, then study physics.
Yep.
And so he was a physics major at UC. And so it absolutely comes from the physics term.
Okay.
And it kind of, I think it, in every system there's a certain amount of chaos.
Of course.
And so hence the name. This process has been very chaotic. And we feel like we represent our name well.
That's what makes it so good, right?
You're living the brand.
Very well. We are living our brand.
Are any of these like the initial flagship beer?
So I would say Bleacher Talk was one of the very first ones, and there's a story behind that name.
All right.
So when my son decided, him and his wife were like, we're going to have this playground, we're going to design it ourselves. And actually they built it. My husband helped build it. My son's father-in-law helped build it. It took what do they call it? It takes a team or the whole community. They all came together, built that. And we were trying to decide, what are we going to do for seating? And I don't know whose idea it was. I think it might have been my son's or his wife's. I can't remember which one came up with it, but they wanted like bleachers.
Keep it simple.
And of course,
Give you the
once
park
again,
feel,
I feel
right.
like I'm always the late adopter where I'm like,
bleachers.
what do you mean bleachers, like in a stadium, like bleachers, like real bleachers. And they were like, yeah, because then the parents can kind of like just sit and, you know, watch the kids play. They can hold their beers. They can, you know, we can have the live edge bar right real close by. So they can pop their drinks there or put their food there. And we have a couple of smaller, like 1 or 2 people tables in that same area. But the bleachers, hence bleacher talk. And bleacher talk is like all the parents hanging out, chit-chatting, talking.
Great. That's great.
I don't know if he specifically meant women, but I don't think he did. But I think it could go both ways.
We will talk on the bleachers.
And we do talk on the bleachers. There's a lot of bleacher talk going on.
Right.
A lot of bleacher talk.
Oh, funny.
Especially during the Friday morning play dates. So lots of bleacher talk going on.
So tell us a little bit about the Friday morning play dates, because we can put some of this stuff on. Like, so when she edits.
Friday mornings, we have, you know, an open call or invitation to bring kids. I think at 11 o'clock, 11:30 when we open. And, you know, it's just a nice time that moms can come, chit-chat, have some bleacher talk.
Yeah.
Have some bleacher time, you know. We all need adult time, especially, you know, moms that are home a lot and home a lot with the kids. I know when my kids were younger, I've almost felt sorry for someone when they called me because they would never get me off the phone because I wanted to speak to an adult.
Exactly. Some adult.
So there's a lot of adult talk and bleacher talk going on. So that's where the beer got its name. And I love that name. You know, it's so appropriate.
What type of beer is it?
It's a light beer. It's a very light beer.
Right.
It's a very easy to drink light beer. The interesting thing about my beer journey is, well, I like I said, I was not a beer connoisseur.
Did you find that you worked backwards from bourbon? So did you like heavier beers to begin with? Because that's how I am. I prefer that.
It's funny that you say that because at first I thought because I don't love beer, maybe I should go with the lighter beers. And so I would try those and I'd be like, you know, like they're okay. But like, I'd want to like stick an orange in it or something, you know, or a lemon or a lime or something. And so my husband was actually the one that said, you know, Kim, I really think that you would like something darker and richer. That's more your style. And so
flavor.
Yes.
A little kick.
So I actually like the stouts. And when I would look at a stout, I'd be like, ew, like that looks so beer.
Right.
And I'd be like, that's not my style. That's not my taste. And Jordan makes the absolute best stouts. He really does. And I really like them. I'm sad to say that I do not have my favorite beer with me. And I was so disappointed. I was like, where's dark matter? There's no dark matter. Like that's the stout that I absolutely adore. So dark matter is not here. But you'll have to come and try it.
My husband loves dark beer. Like,
that is my favorite. Yeah. The dark matter is my favorite. I really do like the bleacher talk. And he had this, and it sounds like crazy, but the peach beer that he had in the fall was so good. Okay. It was just the right amount of peach. You know, not overly peachy, but fresh peaches, not just like flavored. You know, so it was very good.
And that was like an IPA. It was a lager, or was it more of a cider type thing?
It was not a cider. It was more like a lighter beer.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure it was not an IPA because I tend to not like IPAs, and I don't think I would have liked it at all.
Don't want to do phone a friend?
No, I know. I'm like, I might have to.
Not yet.
I feel like I'm pretty sure that it's not. I know it's not an IPA because I really am not a big huge fan. To me, it has like a taste to it. The IPAs have a taste, like a bitter taste that is not my favorite. So Bleacher Talk is one of my favorites, though. Actually, it was my first favorite until I tasted Dark Matter.
Okay,
and I actually like the chocolate beer that we have here as well.
Convergence.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that
too. That's another one of my favorites.
And then what type of beer is this?
So this is an IPA. The Viking.
Oh, okay.
Is an IPA. What else? And then of course I had to bring the margarita. Yeah, that's our house marg. And is it okay to say we wanted to have it strong?
I think that would bring people in, actually.
Can I say that? You know, we are fond of a nice strong drink. You know, we wanted to be. I think it's very disappointing when you go out and you have an adult beverage and you can't taste any alcohol in it. And you're like, yup. Where's the alcohol? And you know, I feel like I should be able to taste it. And so it is a little stronger, and I have loved it since the get-go.
Awesome.
And when Jordan he actually mixes it up in a smaller keg, like the smaller keg, and actually we have it on tap. So it's on one of the taps.
So it's fresh,
it's not
but
a
on
beer.
tap.
It is absolutely fresh and is on tap.
And it's not a beer.
It's not
It's
a beer.
margarita.
You wanted to start there?
Yeah. I feel like that's the perfect way to start in.
To start is with the margarita.
Yes.
Nice. And so tell us about the food offerings that...
So we do have lots of different options as far as food goes. I know one of the biggest complaints I had personally when we were going to different brew houses is like, I wanted food.
Right.
I wanted, I wanted to eat.
Not a bag of chips and some
popcorn.
Corn nuts or whatever.
I didn't want to have to go out to a food truck or something, and I wanted the place to have something that I could eat along with the beer. And it's never a good idea to just
those
drink
are
alone.
Delicious.
And now I'm not going to be able to get this open.
The secret spice on them.
So like I said, this is one of my absolute favorite things. As far as the menu goes, it's very southwestern flair. So you'll find things like tacos and sandwiches. And it's funny, my son, as much as he loves beer, he loves margaritas too.
I mean, who doesn't love a good margarita?
I haven't met anyone.
It's hard to find a good margarita.
It is hard to find a good margarita.
Because like you said, they're either not strong or they're, did you need a glass?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
You have somewhere to be, don't you?
I have a meeting after this. As much as I'd love to drink with you ladies, I have to do a presentation and I have to have my wits with me.
We'll let you know how good it is.
Right.
I know how good it is. So
Okay. All right.
Cheers.
Cheers to Jordan's margarita, house margarita. So, and I love the genius idea of having it on tap so that
that's
it's
so
always
good.
isn't.
Yeah.
It's tasty.
Oh yeah.
It is so tasty. So how do you serve this? Like,
so typically very much like on the rocks usually. We don't do anything frozen. So not yet anyhow.
Right.
I don't know that we'll ever do that. My son's not a huge frozen fan,
Yeah.
so like it's never
No,
been.
this is the real deal.
He likes really good coffee too, so we actually have really good coffees. And I wish I could talk to him more, but I know that I'm gonna have to phone a friend for that, because I know that he actually has it made for us.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's a specific Entropy coffee, and I think it's a very little known point because I think it's outstaged by the beer and the margaritas, and we have lots of bourbon and specialty drinks down in the basement that everyone loves. So I feel like we are not necessarily known for our coffee, but we also have a what's the machine?
Espresso?
Thank you.
Oh, so can you do espresso martinis?
We can do espresso martinis
You
as
know where I was
well.
headed.
So we did those over
Yeah.
Christmas and stuff, especially.
We'll have to do a coffee live.
yeah, we will there.
Yeah.
So it's a different menu downstairs, or it's the same menu?
It's
okay.
the same. Yeah.
Okay.
And the only different menu that we have is Saturday and Sundays. We have the brunch menu with the flights of mimosas, and they're very tasty. They're very good.
And strong. They're probably
I'm
strong
literally
too.
going to text him. I told him he had to be available. My son is not super social. He's a little introverted. And I told him,
that why he didn't
I
wanna come?
tried to talk him into coming with me, but he was just, it's not his jam. He wants to just make beer, like
He was a little more quiet when I met them in person. So I met
he's
them like
not super outgoing.
yeah. And
It's not
Brianna
his
was
style.
she was very chatty, and he was kind of quiet. So I wondered if
Well, he's a scientist.
True.
Most scientists are not very talkative.
I told you I ended up not knowing something. That's why I was like, but you have to come because I'm not going to know something.
He could have just been in the corner and like piped in every
know,
once in a
right?
while.
He doesn't have to be on camera.
Right.
I mean, we
This
would
queso
probably
is delicious.
we probably would have forced him. Oh, good. I'm glad you
Oh,
like it.
it's so
It's
good.
still even warm. I tried to warm it up before we came, but I figured
It's decent. It's
Yeah.
not cold.
Yeah, no.
It's like room temp, but I'm giving everything so far a 10 out of 10.
Oh,
Right, exactly.
while we're talking about food, the guac is actually my daughter-in-law's recipe. It's something that I've always wanted her to bring every family occasion because my husband is not a big, avocado person. I love avocado. And my daughter-in-law is vegan. And so that is one of the very best vegan things that she makes. I think one of the things that makes us stand out from other breweries as well is we are very, what do I want to say, eclectic as far as food choices go. My mom has celiac disease, so she has to be gluten-free because of the allergy. And Brianna, I've always said that Thanksgiving at my house is a little crazy because you have
to label all the dishes.
Because my daughter-in-law is vegan, and then my son and the kids, they are all vegetarian. And so we have everything labeled and then my mom is celiac disease. So like, so you've got your gluten-free, your vegan, your vegetarian.
You all are on this side.
And when anyone with a special diet asks me like, what do you want me to bring for Thanksgiving? I'm like, bring what you like and what you can eat.
Right, exactly.
And enough to share with everyone.
No pressure on you then.
Right, but it's almost funny because like everything has to be labeled. So I feel like because we have that background, we are very sensitive to allergies and to making sure that, you know, our food not only is tasty, but we can offer it, you know, vegan or vegetarian as well. So we're very proud of being able to do that.
Oh yeah,
it is very hard to find. And my mom especially, you know, with hers not just being, you know, a choice, a diet choice, it's you know, it's a medical issue, and so she really has to be very careful. And it's funny, I didn't understand the cross-contamination issues, and you know, when you're a lot of people who are serving food will say, well, this is vegetarian or it's gluten-free, there's no, you know, there's no flour in it, but they fry it in a fryer that has used other products that have flour. So we don't cross-contaminate between our fryers. One of them is specifically gluten-free and the other one is not.
Wow.
So we try to be very careful.
Yeah, that's a big deal. And the guac is amazing.
So do you own the kitchen or you sublease the kitchen? Okay.
We do.
Okay.
We own the kitchen.
Okay.
And it has been a labor of love.
Most kitchens are, right?
It's been, and we've tried to, you know, kind of stick with the Southwest theme. It's what we all like.
Love it.
And we try to make, you know, different things, also different offerings that have a little bit of a Southwest flair. So we will have burgers as well, but we'll have some Southwest burgers. We've got like cowboy nachos. Those are actually my favorite foods, cowboy nachos. They're excellent. They're so good.
What makes them cowboy?
I think
barbecue?
It's barbecue.
Oh, I love barbecue nachos.
They're so, and you can put chicken on it, and you can also there's a little bit of bacon on it. It can be with or without meat, whichever way you want it. But it's the barbecue. It's barbecue. The combination of the barbecue sauce and the cheese sauce, it's delicious.
Oh my God, I bet.
I mean, to me, it's addictive. Like I cannot I have to eat the whole bowl. So that is, and that's why I gained weight when we first opened. So I'm more controlled.
Well, you had to do like food testing, right?
Right.
I mean, and then make sure that it's consistent.
I had to test the drinks. I had to test the food. I mean, all of the things, right?
Well, it's an ongoing process.
It
also.
is absolutely yes. So I feel like that's one of the qualities that I can bring to the table is I can taste test. I'm not creative. I'm the pediatric nurse practitioner. I mean, everyone's like, what do you do? And I'm like, well, I have a 50-hour-a-week job that I work, and I'm there on the weekends a lot. But what I am the most proud of is I am in charge of our merch. So I do all the merchandise because I love to shop.
Show your jacket?
So this is my jacket.
I love the jacket.
Let's
So
make
you
sure.
show right here.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
Yep, there you go. Yep.
I love it.
So my son actually designed it. He designed the logo.
Okay, so we've got the logo.
So the logo came from him. It was a beaker. He wanted to absolutely have it in a beaker.
Yeah.
See it? Yep.
And so
Some hops
in the
and
beaker.
it's bubbling.
And water, maybe? Water?
It's like the beer.
Okay.
The
Doing
waves
his
of the
thing.
beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
I do too.
He designed that, but I got to buy all the merchandise and get it. You know, we did 937 Inc. down in Springboro. They were amazing. They were so wonderful to work with because here we are. I've never done this before, and then I used my husband. His uncle owns Price Stores, and so he was able to help us order the actual items. So I feel like we really did piecemeal a lot of merchandise together. So we ordered all of the items, the clothing items from Eric's uncle at Price Stores.
Sure.
Got to plug him because he was so wonderful and helped us out.
He's now in Centerville.
Yes,
well, he's
now
been there
in
for a while
Centerville.
now.
Yes. So we purchased them through there. 937 Inc. stepped up to the plate. They had already done a lot of the logo stuff for Price Stores, and so they already had a relationship there. And when I, sight unseen, ordered all of this merchandise, it all came in together.
Were you nervous?
Thousands of stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, so much stuff. I had a PowerPoint because I've been a nurse educator, and so I had a whole PowerPoint of all of my products that I was gonna, and how the labels were gonna, you know, because there was a couple of different labels. We have one that has that's a little busier with more stuff, but I think that's the simplest label that we've got that we stuck with the most. So is this this is our more complicated label where it's got more words.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So we I actually designed these too. So this is part of my merchandise.
And there you go. So when did you actually open? open the doors to the public?
We opened on July 3rd.
Okay, of 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Of 2024.
So you're not even
so
a
we've
year
only,
old yet. You're a baby.
we are babies. We're still figuring it out.
Yeah,
It's a process.
It's a phenomenal concept.
It's a process. When I walk through the building, though, I mean, it's a beautiful location. It's a beautiful. I just love the way it came together. All the different ideas and the designs are different from the basement to the first floor to the kids area to the kitchen. However, it all just makes sense.
Works.
And so many times I just walk through the building and I'm like, this is the most beautiful building. Like,
It's so pretty.
it's really it's cool.
And the patio is really nice too.
That's actually my favorite. I have, I was like, I wonder if they're going to ask me where's my favorite place. Like,
Where's your favorite place?
Yeah, it came up.
So in the summertime, I love sitting on the patio listening to the music on Friday and Saturday nights. It's
awesome.
I love being able to bring my dog. So
How do you find your
dog?
on
The
the
patio
patio?
is dog
Okay.
friendly.
Oh, that's good news. Yeah. How do you find your music people? Do they come to you generally, or do you seek that out?
It started. That's a good question. It started with me and my husband and date night. So we would probably about 6 to 9 months before we opened, we started going to other places and listening to other people sing.
Sure.
My husband, he loves live music, and that was kind of his baby. And so he's been always in charge of finding people to come in. And we did a lot of homework, and we did a lot of, hanging out on Friday nights, trying to figure out whether or not we liked people.
It's a business expense.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you understand.
Research and development.
Research and development. It's a legit thing. So we really enjoyed, just listening to people sing, getting to know people, getting to know their styles, trying to decide whether or not they fit for the in the place.
Right.
And I felt like I was able to determine whether or not they could, hit the notes.
Right.
Yeah.
My husband's not. I call him a little tone deaf. So sometimes,
So you're good-
sometimes
you're
we'd
good
be in the parking lot and I'd be like, oh, we really don't need to go in.
Oh,
He's like,
you
give it a
know
chance,
that
give it a
early.
chance, and you're like, no.
He's literally like, but we came to watch them sing. And I'm like, yeah, but
No, we're good. Let's go on to the
yeah,
next.
we're
It's not
good.
it. Yeah.
Unless you're hungry. And do you want to go in and eat? Because if you want to eat,
You
that's
don't
okay.
really,
we can,
right?
We can go in and eat. So if you want to eat, that's totally fine. We can eat. But yeah, I felt like, and so he's been very nice to say, hey, did they sound good to you? And actually, he's getting really good. He's only bringing me really good people to listen to, and I'm saying yes to almost everything he's
Do
bringing.
you have regulars?
Yes, we do. When I say regular, I would say probably about once a month, once every other month is when the regulars.
Okay.
That's how frequently. We do have some that bring in more people than others. It's amazing. Some of them have their own following,
clique.
and it's so cool. Like just to watch the people come and who've never been there before. And
Right, and that's the best part about it.
it's a beautiful
too.
thing
Yeah.
because it's a win-win. We get great music in there, and then we also get people that follow the singers, and they want to have hear them
Right.
sing. So they all kind of have their following, which is really cool.
That is fun. So what's the feedback that you've been getting? I'm assuming you've been super busy, especially in the summertime, because downtown Miamisburg is, super walkable and that sort of
Yeah,
thing.
so-
Holidays. I mean, I feel like you opened in the right time.
We really did.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, we really did. We thought we were going to open a year prior to what we
I'm
did.
sure.
and it just kept getting pushed back and pushed back. And it's funny, when you're opening a new business, you don't know what you don't know. And so you think
a
you're
crash course.
You think you're almost ready, and then you're like, well, wow, there's so many other things that need to be done. And then there's a list. And we, of course, had a consultant, which was really helpful.
Yeah.
Hugely helpful. So she came in and really helped. And that's her business. She helps people open restaurants. And so she's a restaurant consultant.
Okay.
Local?
Yes. And so
Okay.
we would have no idea. I mean,
Yeah.
that was huge. And she helped. I mean, literally, and I did my part. She would give me a list of things that need to be purchased. And
Then you're like, I got
I'm on
this
it. I'm on
I can
this.
purchase things.
I have Amazon Prime.
I'm all over it.
I'm all over this.
I can
get
design
on-
labels. I can do everything.
Right? Exactly. So anything that had to do with purchasing, I was all over it. I was like, I can do that. I can hop online. I can get all the things. And so I mean, it was her that helped us. She brought us all the samples of the different, things to use for dishes and, all the things that, you're like, oh my gosh.
That you
there's
don't
so
even
many
think
choices.
about.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And things that she would recommend and different types of products that she would recommend. And so that was really helpful as well.
It is because
So-
you could forget to order silverware silverware because you're not even thinking about it.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And how much
Right,
silverware?
right,
I mean, like,
exactly.
and that was part of the issue because we had no idea because we haven't done this before. So
Has this become more large scale than you envisioned completely, like from every aspect, or has it
I would say
come
yes.
together?
A little
Okay.
bit, yes. A little bit. The kitchen's doing more business than what we anticipated originally,
Oh, okay.
which is a beautiful thing. But
yeah.
it also creates problems of itself where we have to kind of manage, flow that's going to the kitchen. In our model, you walk up, you
And you
place your
order,
order,
right.
and then you get like a little hockey puck that you put on top of a sensor on the table so that the runners know where to bring the food to. So you order at the kitchen, and then you go ahead and have a seat wherever you'd
And you
like.
can't control that.
And you can't control how many people get into line at the same time.
Right.
So when you have a different model where you've got waitresses, if the kitchen gets busy, the waitresses can be told to slow things down.
Right.
Yeah.
So sometimes, on a Friday or Saturday night, we get to the point where we get a little busy and there's a little wait, but we're working through all of those growing pains. So,
Oh, heck yeah.
Those are the right things to need to work through, though.
Right.
That's
right.
a beautiful thing.
So how many people work in the kitchen then?
So we usually have a couple of line cooks. I know that there's a dishwasher, there's a cold prep, there's a person that preps food, and then usually we have 2 cashiers / runners,
small.
sometimes 3. So it's not huge. It's not a
Right.
huge operation. The kitchen itself is actually fairly good sized, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. Looking hindsight's 2020, we probably could have had another fryer in there. We probably could have had another grill in there.
But
So-
I think part of
just
that
don't
too, like when you keep it small, then the integrity is still
Yes.
there.
Yep.
You're not
Yep.
rushing through it. There's not multiple
we
people
didn't
making the
want-
same thing,
yeah,
and then
we
it comes
didn't
out
want to have a
different.
huge menu. We didn't
Right.
want to have a lot. We wanted to do a smaller menu
Some
that
things
did
really
well.
well.
Yes, and focus on those things. And
Right.
and there have been improvements. I mean, we've changed menu items, and we've also improved menu items based on feedback. And so I would like to say that we listen to our feedback that we get. There were some things that even the little people didn't like. To start out with, like
Right.
I want my chicken fingers.
Right. I know. I was picturing nuggets also.
Yes, they like their Dino Nuggets grilled. Well, they want them deep fried. They don't want them baked.
No,
Right.
no.
They do not
no.
want them.
Yeah, I want them crispy.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's so interesting. Like the kids love that Kraft macaroni and cheese look.
Oh, yeah.
And if you try to give them something that's fancy,
Like,
I
what
mean, we
is
have
this?
2 different types of macaroni and cheese, some for the adults and some for the kids. because
Right.
The kids love the Kraft
Yep.
type
Yep.
macaroni
The little
and cheese.
skinny noodles.
Yes, and
Yep.
if it's a noodle that has curves to
They're
it,
like,
they're like,
what even is this? I'm not even
that
trying
is
it.
not macaroni and cheese. Like,
That's
My
a true
oldest was
statement.
that way.
yeah.
She
And
wanted
my
the craft when she
honestly,
would go
my
to
kids
a,
were the
a
same
restaurant.
way. My kids were the same way. So,
You had to,
but
you
I
had
just
to
think it's
revert back
funny.
to that age group again, and then
I think it's kind of funny. Oh, I meant to tell you my favorite other thing is hot mac tacos.
Oh, interesting. Tell me more.
I know, right? It doesn't. It sounds very weird.
Uh-huh.
So they have chicken, and then macaroni and cheese, hot sauce, with a little bit of sour cream and pickles. It is the most delicious
like,
taco
just
So
I've
is it
ever
like
had.
hot
soft
chicken,
shell?
kind of like Nashville sort of hot
Kind of a
chicken
Nashville
style?
hot,
Oh.
yeah, sauce.
And what kind of shell, and how is it?
It's
formed
just a
together?
soft taco shell. Those are delicious. Those are my favorite, and I love it. We always have like a quarter of a lime on the side, and I always like drizzle my lime over it.
Sounds
It's delicious.
delicious.
Oh, it does.
That's
That
my
sounds
favorite.
really good.
Yeah, my kids would eat that
It's
up.
so odd. Like I wouldn't like I said, I'm not the creative person. I would have never chosen those items to be put together, but it makes
And
sense.
put in a shell,
Like the
right.
coolness of the sour cream kind of balances out the hot of the sauce, and then it's just like the pickles are just a nice
Right, it's all playing
little
together
touch.
well.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
makes sense.
So who designed your menu? Did you hire someone as a
So,
chef to?
I would say it was mostly my daughter-in-law.
Oh, okay.
I would say
The maker of the
Jordan-
guac. Yeah.
maker of the guac.
Uh-huh.
She
The
is
vegan.
She's a phenomenal vegan cook, and so she has lots of recipes. And in fact, I remember one birthday party for Riley, my granddaughter. It was so much fun because she brought all the tacos that she was wanting to make.
Oh, that's
at
fun.
the brewery.
Yeah.
And so like she was kind of taste testing with the family, and it was really cool.
It's like a birthday party.
And it was great
Inviting
because
her
I
to
didn't
my
have to
birthday
cook.
party.
Yeah.
She
So
available?
what do you want to have us try next
I
in
know,
terms
right?
of drinks? Yeah,
Let's start light. So I feel
right.
like maybe
bleacher
with the
talk?
bleacher talk, which is
Yeah, that one right
this
there.
one. Okay,
Did you? Are you eating some of these things too?
I might snack with you guys
Yeah,
a little
okay.
bit.
But-
I I know, it's like, I have so many things. I'm so sorry.
No,
Like I
you're
said,
fine. You're totally fine.
and here we are again with the
glass.
With the
Oh, the
very
thingy?
well.
Okay.
He has this just so perfectly put together that I can't see without my glasses.
It does blend in
Thank
with
you,
the
Jordan.
thingy.
It does. Thank you for making me feel better.
You see
Here
it?
you go. No.
Oh, you just turned it.
I had so much fun
Right here?
watching your guys' other podcasts, and I'm telling you, it was so much fun because I was like, I literally left with the feeling of I'm going to have so much fun when I come here tomorrow.
Well, good. I hope you're still having fun.
Yeah.
Ooh. So this next one is the one that is more of the lighter beer. This one is a great summer beer or just any
You can just do like a half.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't want to waste it.
Okay.
So,
Ooh, it smells very good.
when I was there the other day to check out the space, and I love it. The design is awesome.
oh,
Those are so kind.
Bartender was saying how you guys are part of DORA. So people
Yes,
can grab a beer and walk
absolutely.
across the street to a playground also if they didn't like the inside
So
playground.
what was so beneficial that I don't think we were fully aware of when, we were awarded the project, we did not know that Miamisburg was putting so much money into renovating their downtown area.
yeah.
It is absolutely beautiful. The area, they have a brand new park that's right up next to the river, and lots of playground area, a big amphitheater, and they have activities all the time. So, like I said, we were only familiar with a couple of them. I had no idea that they had so many downtown activities, and there's always people coming and going. So it's a wonderful thing. It's a
Right.
wonderful place, and I feel like we're just there at the right time because there's so much renovation going on.
This actually is really good.
Yeah, it is.
Like
I'm
I
not a
said,
big
I'm not a huge
light-
beer
no.
fan, and I
No,
really like
that's-
that beer.
Yeah.
Do you know what the ABV is?
And I found a friend.
Absolutely.
Let's guess. I'm
I'm
gonna
going
say
to go 5.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
5.4.
I was gonna say 5.7.
You gonna under or over? Okay. But it is. It's very good.
It is good. Yeah. It's a fishing beer.
Fishing beer.
Yard work beer.
It's a bleacher chatting beer.
Well, I brought
It's a football beer. Is that what you just said?
Kinda, yeah.
I brought my cheat sheets here.
Oh,
with
there
me.
you go.
So let's see. Here is our brand new cocktail menu. So we haven't really talked much about the lower. The cocktails are available down in the lower and at the main bar.
Okay.
We have
Warmer weather.
wonderful
Oh, so
bartenders.
you're rolling out your
Indigo
spring
Bloom.
stuff?
Yeah.
Yes, that is brand new. That is like hot off the press.
Okay. We're gonna do another live. We're gonna come and do a live for coffee, and then we're gonna come and do a live for these.
Right, for
Absolutely.
the drinks on the patio.
So here is our tap menu.
All right.
But I don't see beer content or alcohol content. So it's Yield. The coffee is Yield.
Okay.
Yield.
It's a Cincinnati
Okay.
brand.
Okay. And they go yield. So they go Entropy by Yield. Is that how
Yeah,
they
so
brand
Yield,
it then?
yeah, and they make a brand for us.
Okay.
It's very
Okay.
cool. And my son is kind of a coffee snob too, so I feel like
What
he
did you
only-
raise?
I know, right? He may be a little high maintenance in a few areas because of his mother.
Oh, funny.
Perhaps.
Perhaps,
And then,
yes.
And then I also brought a menu
Okay.
for you guys to see our most recent menu.
Is the Quantum Cream, is that a martini or is it served on ice? Do you know?
I'm not sure because honestly, that
haven't
is so
seen it
brand
yet?
new. I have not tasted any of those.
5.8.
5.8.
Is that on there?
Oh, Bleacher
it's
Talk is 5.8. Here, you wanna?
most excellent. Oh, okay. So those are the beer menus.
I like
didn't
that you
even-
have-
Can you tell that I didn't have my glasses on when I handed
I
you
was
that?
gonna let it go, but then you called yourself out.
That was hilarious.
I like that you do multiple things. You've got wine and champagne, you've got cocktails, you've got
Yeah.
signature mocktails, gluten-free alcohol.
Of course.
And then NA canned beer, sodas, and juice. Okay.
I mean, I think our point was we really wanted to
Appeal to
accommodate
everyone.
and appeal
Yeah.
to everyone.
And I think you did.
And it's, our families are so diverse and different. And we wanted a place where everybody would be happy with something. Everybody
Yeah.
could find something to
this
drink.
is totally it.
Whether
yeah.
it be non-alcoholic or whether it be a virgin or
Or wine or
wine.
whatever,
yeah.
We wanted to make sure we had some really good house wines available because, like I said, I wasn't a huge beer person, and one of my biggest pet peeves going to a brewery was either their wine would be terrible,
Yeah.
or they wouldn't have food, or all of the things. So those were the kind of kind of the things that I wanted to have. And,
Right.
and I think everybody else absolutely agreed.
Yes.
They were like, we want to appeal to everyone
Mm-hmm.
so that it would be a nice place for families to go. And we do have big, family events there. We've had a lot of different things. And I think we're one of the few places that will actually reserve, like we have a Sutman room that we can reserve.
off in the
There's
corner
different
there.
areas
Okay.
of the actual
that you can
entropy that you
reserve?
can reserve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So those reserve areas, do you require a food and beverage minimum, or
Nope.
is there a deposit or anything like that?
There's no
Nothing.
deposit. Mm-mm. No.
And no food and beverage
Not
minimum.
as if you want to rent out the whole place, we might have to charge you. But,
Right.
Well, yeah.
On a Friday night,
But
right?
we'll also accommodate where we've had we had a company that came in that wanted to purchase the food for everybody, and they kind of wanted to have more of a kind of serve yourself. And so we accommodated them. We kind of created a ticket system for them
Sure.
so that each person would get like so many tickets for drinks and so many
Yeah.
tickets for food, where they just kind of purchased everything ahead of time.
I like how you're so open-minded about let's try this and see what happens.
Yeah, because everybody's going to want something
Yep.
just a little bit different.
Right.
Right.
It's good that you're open to those different
Mild,
concepts.
mild coffee ale.
I know, I saw that.
I saw that. That's good.
All the
It's like a
things.
blonde, I'm assuming.
Oh, you're
blonde ale.
asking me
Yeah.
beer questions again.
All right,
Stephanie,
so-
I'm gonna have to call you out on that. I am not the beer expert.
Here,
I was
put
like,
it in the envelope.
So the Viking project then would
That
probably
is
be
the
next. The hazy.
hazy.
Ooh, I do
Seven
like a good
hazy
hazy
IPA.
with tropical citrus. Okay.
Light herbal.
and that is here.
I'm
Oh, and
assuming
you already
Viking.
opened
I
it for
did. I was
me.
trying to help
Thank
you out. Yeah.
I'm assuming Viking is in honor of Miamisburg.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
You're so smart. I don't
I
even.
tell you.
That was
I like
like
to
totally
think I am.
unprompted.
She's from here. Oh, I smell
I can
that.
smell
Do you
that one.
smell
That-
it?
You heard that? Oh,
I
yeah,
heard
right?
it. Yes.
It's definitely hazy.
Mm.
Beautiful, pretty.
Oh yeah.
It is. It's very pretty.
Mm-hmm. Mike would like this one.
He would.
Mm-hmm.
We gone through. I feel like we had one more, but do we have
Chocolate.
Yeah,
more
the
glasses?
chocolate. Yeah, we're
I was
saving
like,
that for
For
last.
dessert.
I saw
dessert.
my empty tray over here. I was like, "Where's my glasses?"
This is so pretty.
It's so
It
pretty.
is pretty.
It's very good.
Ooh, cheers.
Oh, cheers.
I know you
Cheers
already
to that.
sipped some.
Mhm.
I'm trying to decide what Jordan would say about you calling it pretty, but
Sorry. It's
The
very
Viking. I think
it looks
handsome.
pretty.
What would we?
it look.
Ooh, it's
It's good.
really good.
Mhm. I would order this. This would be my
Yeah,
summer drink.
I think.
over that.
Yep.
Mhm.
You like that for summer?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
He-
It's got that
that's
little
actually
Even
is a
though it's
newer
called the
one. It's
Viking
actually newer.
Project, I guess I'll have some.
I guess.
Okay.
It'd
I
be
do
better as the
really
Eagle
like that,
Project,
and
but-
it is pretty. Sorry, Vikings
No.
are pretty, I guess.
Vikings are pretty.
I love it. They can be.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe that's
They
my
can-
thing.
They can have a
You've
very-
seen the shows with the Viking women,
Oh,
right?
yes.
With the long
Long, luscious
hair and
locks.
the-
Well, the
Yeah.
guys have the long hair too, don't
Right,
they?
yeah, they do.
I feel like they have it too.
Like, what's his name? At everyone-
Jason Momoa.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly, but yeah.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah.
You know.
Right. We know what
The
you're
guy.
talking about. Mhm.
The guy.
With the long,
With the
pretty hair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Aquaman.
Yeah, exactly.
I sound
We
like a
all
boy
do.
mom when I say that, don't I?
Yes.
Aquaman.
That's funny.
I know who he is.
So, of the dips, which one is your favorite? Is it the guac? Because
The
I know
guac.
you. Yeah.
Yeah,
guac
I mean,
is good. It's so light
I
and
really do like the
fresh.
queso, but like the guac is just it's fresh.
Well, you feel like
It's,
you're doing something
delicious.
good when you're eating it too.
You
which
feel
is, like,
healthy, and,
your
and
healthy
actually the
fats.
guac is very good for you. So
So I think I saw that there's happy hour.
there is happy hour. We do that, and we also have like a special on. I think we're changing our special from beef to chicken on Thursdays. So we're trying to, as the spring comes, and we're expecting more foot traffic. January and February are usually kind of slow, but we actually had a decent January and February. I can't complain at all. And it also gave us some time to like focus on, okay, what do we want to do? How do we want to do it?
Right.
Really dive deep and better understand what we're doing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so we are in the process of talking about like different events. I know we at our last meeting we were.
Is there anything you
Family
can
meeting.
say that? Yeah.
Is it all super
Or that you
secret?
can't
Like
know
the
that there's
spicing?
Can you
anything
hand me a chip,
Secret.
please? Yeah, we can't talk
Like
about
I feel
with
like
the spices.
I don't know that I'm allowed to talk about the spices.
I don't think you should.
No,
I
I
feel
think
like
that's
that's
good.
a secret.
I mean, yeah, it's a secret
But I
recipe
do know that
and
it's like
delicious.
healthy stuff that's on it.
Oh, okay,
So,
great.
Like there's things that are on there that are good for you and good for decreasing
Digestion.
Good for digestion and also good with decreasing your inflammatory.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it's
good.
like
To pair those
anti-inflammatories
things
in there
together.
as well,
it's
so.
not overly salty. It's like just
No.
salty enough.
And I like it that there's like in some, like when you're ready for like a spicy like taste, then you see where the spice is, so you can like work around it if you don't want it, or you can be like, oh, I'm ready for like a nice spicy taste. So I really like the my second would be probably the queso.
The queso's really good.
And we've got some really good bread.
Do you have fish tacos? Did I see that?
We do.
Okay, I thought I saw that.
We have cod.
Okay.
And is that
all the
cod
time?
is very
Or?
good. Yes.
Okay.
All the time. Okay. And I was actually thinking as I was driving up here, I was like, oh, we're like Ash Wednesday was yesterday.
Yeah, it's Lent,
and all of a sudden I'm like, we need to have this is like me really talking out of turn because I was literally driving the car up here because I was like, we really need to have a special on Friday, with the cod tacos or some type. We have a cod sandwich as
You're
well.
off script at this point, right?
Yep, exactly.
So don't tell anyone.
Mom's talking when she shouldn't be talking.
I know, right?
Family secrets.
And I'm not even drinking anything yet. Right. So.
Get a few
Is there anything else important that you want to share with our viewers about Entropy, about the story, about the enthusiasm behind it?
I think what was most important to me is to kind of share Jordan and Brianna's story. I think that it's an important story, and I think that it's kind of what sets them apart from other breweries.
I love it.
Also, the family thing. There's 4 of us, me, my husband, and Jordan and Brianna. And it's, trying to work together and coming to do things, in, like menus. Yeah. I mean, just creating menus, all the things, it's a lot of conversation, a lot of discussion, a lot of family meetings.
Non-holiday ones.
Though.
Right.
Taste testing is good. But, I think I think what we're the most proud of is just the space and having the space, for everyone. And seeing, I think one of the most beautiful things is just watching the other families. I can almost get teary about it because, you can like, everybody's having a fun time. Like the kids are happy.
Right.
And that's all you want.
They're playing. Mom and dad are happy because they're not having to be like right on them. They're sitting in the bleachers talking, talking to their family or talking to mom and dad. I'm seeing grandparents celebrating their birthdays there with their grandkids.
Oh,
and it's
that's awesome.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And so just, getting to watch the families have a place and a space that's, fun and safe and, and someplace they can be, especially in the wintertime when it's,
oh yeah,
there's nowhere that the kids can go.
So. No, not at all.
No.
All right,
big,
let's try the last chocolate convergence.
I'm going to see the back flavor on that. Let me see.
Oh, chocolate.
Chocolate Convergence is 6.5 ABV. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I should have had us guess.
Oh, you should have guessed.
Decadent chocolate, vibrant cherry, and a zesty orange create a complex dessert-like finish.
Oh, so
I'm
now
so
we
glad
gotta
you're reading
test that.
I'm so thank you for not quizzing me on that one.
What are
I
the
feel
flavor
like I
notes?
fail miserably trying to describe everything. I feel like I can drink it and say whether or not I like it.
It sniffs good. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, one of the things I'm proudest of is the beer. I think the beer has been really good, and I think the lower, if I could say like the 2 things I'm the most proud of is like my son makes great beer, and my husband has great taste for like the bourbons and.
Well, obviously he's been married to you for 35 years.
You guys have done a lot of. Yeah, he has great taste.
I really like you ladies. Like I can hang out with you guys for. No, seriously, I mean it's just like I don't know. It's a nice happy feeling that things have come together and that they're open finally, because it seemed like there was a while where we were like, oh my gosh, are we ever actually going to open?
Right,
yeah.
Right.
But having it almost seemed surreal. Like the first couple opening days, I think I don't even remember them hardly.
I'm sure you don't. No, right.
It was really cool though, and it's just kind of like now we're kind of like easing into. Summer, I'm really looking forward to the patio space. It's a beautiful space. It's really nice.
Will the live music ever move outside for summer, or have you guys talked about that?
We've thought about it. I'm not sure.
Okay.
To be
I
continued.
mean, it's being channeled outside. So.
Exactly. It is out there so you can hear it, but it would be, I don't know that the space is big enough. Maybe. We did have, we had a lot of fun for the Boo and the Berg. That is like the funnest thing. Have you guys ever been?
No,
I've never
no.
been, but you're making me want to go.
Yeah, I know.
We had a live DJ down in the court.
Oh, that's fun.
And they were just pumping out the fun music, and I was like, I was a bouncer.
Like in
So
costume
scary.
or literally?
No, like literally, I was a bouncer. I think my husband and I dressed up as Jack and Coke, but we were so busy.
That's hilarious.
We were so busy. It was our lame attempt to dress up at the last minute. And so, yeah, and my husband's like, well, we really need someone to like be, checking IDs. And I'm
Right.
like, okay. Does that involve math?
I mean, right.
Just
little
tell me the
bit.
right year and I'll be
Right.
okay. But that was a lot of fun, actually. Just watching, just being out on the street and watching everyone walk by. And it was a little cold that night, but not too hateful. But
Right. That's
we really our general manager had done a really good job of finding music for the basement, and also like just moving all the chairs out of the way so that everybody could just come in, because it really is just kind of a bar crawl.
Okay.
So you like start at one end of the street and kind of work your way down.
Ooh, okay.
That's fun.
Yeah.
So and
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun just looking at everyone else's costumes. It was so much fun. My favorite were two guys that were dressed as Stanley Cups. Like
Oh, that's funny.
that was like the best costume I've seen in a really long time. I was like, that is really clever.
Oh yeah.
That's funny. So funny. Well, it
They're
sounds
too
like
cute.
everything has come together.
Yeah.
Everything has happened for a reason, and things are
Yes.
very successful. It's fulfilling, and a family
fun.
that works together stays together, right?
Yeah.
I hope so. That's the plan,
I mean,
right?
if you have made it this far, because
Oh,
it's
you've
hard
made it
to
through the
work
hard
with,
part. Right.
Yeah, if it's hard to work with your husband, with your son, with your daughter-in-law,
Thank you for
all
saying
of that.
Yes.
Because
No,
yeah.
it's true. It's true. It really is. And I think that, hopefully what doesn't kill us makes us stronger, right?
Right.
It's a lot of
heck yeah.
collaboration.
Yeah.
It is.
Yep.
It's a lot.
It is.
And, it sounds like you guys have made it this far, and now you're looking forward to the next
It sounds like you've really
30
I'm
years.
still looking forward to the summer. I mean, just like,
Right.
I just love like I said, I love being on the patio, and I'm just looking forward to all the, little sports teams that come in. They come after their practices and stuff.
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
that's us.
all the things, because the whole family can come in and,
Right.
find stuff to do and go to the park and all the
Oh,
things.
yeah.
So
It seems like a great concept, and you've really created a space that's maybe an anchor,
and I
even
love,
in
I love
downtown
what you guys are
Miamisburg.
doing.
Thank you.
Like I said, I you always, I kept saying I gotta get on there, and I've got to watch their reels and stuff. I got to see what they're all about. And after I was watching them last night, I was like, this is actually really fun. Like it's a great concept.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I love how your background is in real estate, and you guys are just obviously really good friends, and
Yeah.
I love how you guys like just are, you kind of like work so well together. Like you're just so like I could tell you guys have known each other for a while, and you just like kind of feed off of each other, and it's just like
Yep.
such
Yep.
a natural thing.
It
So
is.
It's
It
been
is
like this.
actually.
It actually made me
Thank
feel
you.
like so much better, because I was like, okay, I don't have to
We're
be
very
all
strict,
nervous
and
about
we're
this
very
and
black and white. Yeah.
Literally, I was like, this is going to be so much fun.
Well, good.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
good.
I hope you had fun.
I did. Thank you. Thanks
Yes.
for letting me share everything.
Oh
with
my
you.
gosh, we
Yeah.
were so excited. I can't wait to go and try everything. I want to try everything. Like I'm going to try all the drinks. I want to try
When we
all
go,
the
right,
mocktails.
right.
I want to try everything on the menu.
I
We
feel
might
like I
be a
still
couple
haven't gotten
times.
all of it. Like I've tried, but not quite there.
Not quite that. I
Oh,
know.
wait.
I think we're
think we're
have
good.
to wrap it up.
It is, but I
two have stopped.
Yeah,
so
two.
we've got one left.
okay.
Yeah.
So I do have one more question. Do you do burger specials? Did I read that on your?
Yes.
Okay.
I do believe so.
All right. I'm pretty sure we read burgers.
Like,
It can be edited out.
I know we have Thursday specials, and we keep talking about having more and more
Okay.
specials. So I know that is on the process of a lot of summer stuff that's coming up. And
Okay.
we wanna,
Awesome.
All right.
And obviously burgers and summer go together. So
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
I would say yes, and I'm going to make it happen.
You heard it here.
We'll be there.
You heard it from me first.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
coming.
and cheers.
Yes.
Visit
Yeah.
Entropy Brewing. We're going to put all the contact information in the bottom. Check them out.